Hey, so some of you are on the fence about moving to Colorado Springs. We're going to go ahead and make it easier for you and give you 3 reasons why you should not move to Colorado Springs.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Clay.
We're the Martin brothers. We're doing these videos every single week about what it's like to live, work, and play in Colorado Springs. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you're notified when we drop a new video. And if you want to let us know of some videos that you'd like us to do in the future, let us know in the comments below and we'll be sure to get to those.
Alright, so before we get started, we would like you guys to know that Jacob and I are both full-time real estate agents. So if you guys need any help with real estate, you need any insight on what it's like to live, work, or play here, or even if you just want a good restaurant to go to, give us a shout. We are more than happy to help. Alright, so number 3 on today's list of why you should not move to Colorado Springs is rapid growth. Over the years, Colorado Springs has seen a ton of rapid growth. I think back in 2010, there was roughly 550,000 people in Colorado Springs, and just this year, it's closer to 668,000 people. So there's been over 100,000 people move here in the last decade. Why is that? Colorado Springs is a really great place to live, and word has spread quickly. With the hiking trails, the outdoor activities that we have, the four seasons, it truly is a great place to live. But with the influx of people that we've had come over the last decade, you start to see those people at stoplights, on the roadways, on the trails. And it's not a deal breaker, but we're just expanding really quickly.
So with that, you got a lot more people moving here, right? Which is creating a serious demand for housing. And there's a serious demand for housing. Inventory is lower. That's going to cause property prices to increase, which we've seen consistently like over the last decade or so. But definitely it's been spiking a lot just here in the last few years. And I would say there's a shortage of houses. Although the good news is we have a lot of space out east to expand. Whereas when you're talking about areas like Denver, way more difficult for them to continue growing. We have decades and decades of room to grow before we start maxing out. So I wouldn't let the increase in people moving here or living here deter you from considering Colorado Springs, home.
Also, keep in mind, in the last, I think we were voted in the top 5 cities to live in the U.S. In multiple years in a row. So that just goes to show you as well that Colorado Springs is a favorable place to live in the U.S. So we're just getting more and more people, and it is a great place to live. All right, number 2 on the list is no sports team. That's right. Colorado Springs might be Olympic City, USA, and home to a lot of outdoor activities, but sporting events at the professional level is not one of them. Not to sweat though, because locally we have a couple minor league sports like the Switchback, which is a soccer program, and the Rocky Mountain Vibe, which is minor league baseball. And on top of that, we have Colorado College sports, and we also have Air Force sports as well, and then
and UCCS
as well.
But Colorado College has D1 women's soccer and D1 hockey, and then you've got D1 hockey with the Air Force Academy. So if you're really into hockey, you can go watch some higher level hockey, which is great. I know I love to take my daughters to my youngest daughter is a soccer player, so she really likes to go see CC women's team play, and it's like $5. They have an insanely beautiful soccer field that overlooks the mountains, which is really, really, really impressive. It's like $5 for an adult. I think she's even free to go, but you can go watch some high-level soccer and have a great time for super cheap. So it's always an option.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, about an hour and a half drive north of us is Denver, and Denver is just packed with good professional sports teams. So we've got the Denver Nuggets, the Rockies. We've got the Broncos, the Nuggets, the Rockies,
And the Denver Broncos.
yeah. So those are three professional sports teams that are always a good time, and an hour and a half drive is well worth it to watch these guys play.
And
grow.
have you been to a Rockies game?
I have not.
But you've been to a Broncos.
I have been
Nuggets
to a Broncos game at Mile High.
Yeah. And we've been to a couple Nuggets games. Super good time. It's not, incredibly far away. You can drive up there on an evening, check out a game, and get back. Plenty of time to get ready for the next day. So it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility of making a pro sports game on a weekend or a weekend.
So even though we don't have a sports team, I would not consider it a deal breaker to keep you guys from moving here. All right, last but not least is number one, and that is forest fires. Guys, forest fires here are real, and they're happening more and more often. Some are caused by humans, some are caused by just natural disasters such as like lightning. But in the last 2 decades, since 2000, there have been over 60 fires that have burned over 10,000 acres. And it's real. It forces people to evacuate out of their homes. People do lose their homes. They lose their valuable, all of that stuff. Some of those fires that are caused by humans, it's some stuff that you would think of and some stuff that you would not. Of course, like cigarette butts, fireworks. But some of the ones that surprised me, it actually happened in the last few years by a park ranger. They had a fire at a campsite. They extinguished the fire. They poured gallons and gallons of water on it, and it's just not enough. That fire reignited, caught something on fire. The wind blew, and the next thing you know, we've got a massive forest fire. So it is really, really easy to create a massive type of destruction like that.
And you've seen it on the news, like here and in California and places like that. Fires have been really bad in Colorado Springs in the past. Like you had Waldo Canyon fire, and then you had the Black Forest fire. Both of those happened about like 8 or 9 years ago, and they were very significant. A lot of folks, lost their property with that. So it is something to consider. We haven't had anything like right in Colorado Springs recently, but we have felt the effects of some of the fires that are going on in western Colorado with, like some days where we had a lot of smoke rolling in, multiple days in a row. And it was kind of it looked apocalyptic, it was pretty crazy looking. But at the end of the day, those days are few and far between. And realistically, like, you're in a pretty safe area because we're not completely surrounded, like in the mountains by forestry. Here, you've got the peak, the range to the west of you, and then some pretty open land to the east of you.
So really, to simplify it, is I think what's his name, Smokey the Bear, says it best. Only you can prevent wildfires.
All right, so those were our 3 reasons why you should not move to Colorado Springs. So if you're on the fence, you definitely have a lot of stuff to consider, whether or not this is a good place that you may want to call home or not. If it is, you definitely need to call us, hit us up, call us, text us, come knock on our door, whatever you got to do to get in touch with us. We would love to be your resource in the process. And do not forget to subscribe, hit the notifications bell, give us a like if you found value from this video, and comment if you want us to do something different in the future.
Stay tuned. We got more videos coming to you. Take care. Bye.